I'm James Lynch. I'm the Executive Director of the Art Center in Highland Park. And today I'm talking to Rene Arceo, who is an artist who will be exhibiting here in Highland Park in an exhibit called Dia de los Muertos. And that is opening October 16th and runs through November 14th. Hello, Rene.
Hello, James.
I want to find out, this is just a teaser for the upcoming exhibit. I just want people to find out who Rene is and what you do. And can you just tell us a little bit about you and you as an artist?
Sure. I'm primarily a printmaker. I actually spent 20 years teaching elementary school art. Before that, I was working at the National Museum of Mexican Art as an arts administrator and curator for 13 years. But all along, I have been doing my own art, dealing primarily with lino cuts and woodcuts and other types of printmaking. I'm very interested in issues of the spirituality, of identity, of people. In general, people that have influenced me, my family and relatives in my community that have inspired me.
The timing of the exhibit is because, first of all, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. I was going to put you under pressure and ask you why Hispanic Heritage Month is actually 2 months. It's September 15th through October 16th, I think.
That is a very simple explanation. It is something that was established by the federal government, and they decided to start with the date of the Mexican independence, which is September 15, and they decided to make it a month long because there is a number of other Central American and South American countries. They also have celebrations of independence during that time period. So they put them all together into that 1 month.
So there is a reason to do it. And, you figure it's a month, so it's either September or October, but it's halfway through. So we are into it. Today is the 24th when we're talking, so we're already 9 days into it. And the timing of this is because we wanted to have something topical and we wanted to tie it into the season. And I think the main thing that, one of the things that you and I were talking about is how Day of the Dead and Halloween overlap, but there's nowhere, they're not the same. And you're very passionate speaking about it. Would you explain a little bit?
My understanding, I can share that. The Day of the Dead celebration is something that we do in Mexico and in a number of other Latin American countries. It's a way of remembering our deceased relatives. It's a way of saying you're still present in our lives. So we do 3 different things. One is people go and spend the night of November the 1st to the November the 2nd at a cemetery. They take flowers, they take candles, they take music, they take food to share with all the family members, as well as put in the tomb offerings, the favorite food of the deceased relative. So the idea is that the soul, the spirit of the relative who is dead, will rejoin the family, even if it's just that one night. The other thing is that we create altars at home on tables. We place the photograph of the deceased relative. If they used to like chile rellenos or pozole or any particular type of food, drink, if used to smoke, or he was a carpenter or anything, all of those items that used to belong to him or her are brought over as a way to use them as connectors to the spirit of the deceased relative. And in other cases, people go to the church to say mass for the souls of the deceased relatives. So it is a way of remembering, respecting, keeping the memory alive, especially for the benefit of the younger generations who might not have met that person. Wherein Halloween comes more from the English Hallows Eve, where they used to have celebrations. They were at the beginning, I believe, spiritual, much like Day of the Dead. But what has become in the United States is gory, bloody, spooky, and moneymaker. So it has nothing to do with probably its origins, and it has nothing to do, obviously, with the celebration of the Day of the Dead. That has really become a mixture of the Catholicism that was brought over by the Spanish and the indigenous traditions and beliefs. I mean, I grew up in Mexico and always been exposed to sugar skulls, to toys that were made out of wood in the shape of a skeleton or dancing skeletons. So the idea, the image of skulls and skeletons is very common for us. And it is something that we identify with, and we understand that we're not here on this earth forever. That we're just passing through, as the Netzahualcoyot Aztec poet used to say, that we just come to pick the flowers and we're just passing through this earth, and that's all we do.
There's one of your images, and if I was better, I would have it ready to go. At least one of your images, and it's somebody on one side. It's them all flesh, and you know, and they're all live, and that's it. And this is one of my favorites. I absolutely love that. Tell us a little bit about this one. Do you mind?
Not at all. This is the syncretism precisely that I was talking about, the influence in the Day of the Dead that we have. For example, we have on one side more of the Spanish looking guy with a hat on the one side. So it's the Spanish part, and then the left side you have more of the indigenous with the headdress, but it's in the form of the skull. So it's the idea of bringing together life and death, which to us as Mexicans is the entirety of the wholeness. That we cannot just be alive and never die, or vice versa. So we hold those two things together as one thing, as oneness. So there was the idea behind that I did. Actually, the very first sketch that I did was in 1986. I was looking at some of the sketches that I had, and because I had done several versions of these, this one is one of the original ones, which is about the same size as this image here, about 8 by 10 or so. And then I did a very large, about 48 inches by 30 paper cutout. And then I did just most recently a medium size, a 22 by 30. But I keep adding other elements. The last one, and I don't know if I have it here, has a skeleton that is walking about and is grabbing the Mexican flag. This one. So it's the same sort of idea, but but it has a skeleton now with the flag that is being brought over to this dual hybrid death-life figure that is right in front. So it's a way of kind of bringing the reality that Mexico is going through and many other countries are going through to kind of face itself, face its own sense of reality and identity, especially in Mexico with all the drug cartels that have essentially taken over the country, and a lot of people are very scared. So trying to reflect some of that in the pieces that I'm doing there.
You know, as a gallerist, you know, it's all about staging for me. I would take either one of those images, and I've got this really powerful projector. I can light up an entire wall. Don't tell anybody, but sometimes we'll watch a movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, 8 feet tall. I just love to put that image, you know, covering an entire wall. The first one is one of my favorites of yours. I did say this would be quick. It's just to introduce you to people. We're going to be meeting next week to talk about you know, how to lay this out, what it's going to actually look at. But in particular with this one, I wanted to start telling people what's coming. We, you know, at the Art Center, we are dealing with coronavirus and all the restrictions, but we've been able to let people back into the gallery in small groups. How we'll handle opening night, we'll discuss that. But we have a mask policy. We've got you know, antiseptic for hands at the door. And we're only letting few certain people, and it's one directional. So everybody will be safe coming to look at the actual work. And, but we'll talk more about that as we go. But I'm excited about it. I wanted to get the word out early, and I wanted to have a chance to talk to you again. And again, it's going to be the soft opening is October 16th. It's going to run through November 14th, and we will tell people more about it as we go. Rene, what's your website so that people can take a look at you ahead of time? Just to, if people wanted to look into you before you got up here, where should they look for you?
Oh, they can find my work in arceopress.com. That's my main website. I'm also in Etsy. You can find about 100 smaller prints in Etsy under Arceo Studio. So those are the two main areas you can find me through the.
And you'll bring some prints and some work up here for us to feature in our gift shop too during the duration of the exhibit.
Oh yes, definitely. So I'm shrink wrapping a lot of them, so we'll have plenty.
All right. So people around the North Shore, either visit your site, visit Etsy, or when you're up here, come into the shop while you're in to see the show.
Wonderful.
I'm going to stop now. I could talk to you forever. I'm so looking forward to it, and I'm glad we met. I'm glad we're moving forward with this. So thank you, Rene.
Wonderful. Thank you for the opportunity to share.